She walked into the base commissary wearing an old, weather-beaten military jacket, its color faded, the fabric scarred like memory itself. Two young officers, smug in their shiny new uniforms, chuckled behind her back. To them, she looked like a relic of a forgotten war. Or maybe just someone pretending to belong. She didn't flinch, didn't glance their way. But every step she took echoed with history they couldn't begin to comprehend. They didn't know the truth. That jacket had once been soaked in desert blood. That silence wasn't weakness, it was training. Welcome to the human stories. The sun climbed slowly over Fort Braxton, washing the base in gold. Soldiers shouted cadence, flags rose high, and boots struck pavement in perfect rhythm. Yet Miranda Reeves moved through it all like a shadow, as if the base was a memory she hadn't quite escaped. She was 55, but her spine was steel. Every step, every limp from her right leg, told a different kind of story, the kind carved in scar tissue and silence. Inside the commissary, life buzzed. Young couples argued over cereal. Veterans debated politics by the coffee. Soldiers grabbed protein bars and hurried away. And Miranda? She moved with deliberate grace. She had a list, a mission of her own. Her hand, marked with a pale surgical scar, hovered over soup cans, comparing prices like someone who had once calculated survival chances in worse situations. Two lieutenants turned into her aisle. Their laughter too loud. Their words, poison-laced. She raided her grandpa's closet? That thing looks World War II era. Maybe Vietnam. Probably thrift store trash. She heard it all. Said nothing. But as she reached for a box of pasta, the sleeve slipped. The scar on her wrist caught the light, and for a moment, her eyes closed in pain. Not from the stretch. From the weight of remembering. In her jacket was a folded photo. 5 soldiers, desert fatigues, standing by a chopper with erased markings. 4 of those faces, gone now. The lieutenants followed her, hungry for more mockery. They didn't see the coin tucked into her pocket, the kind given only in the shadows of forgotten wars. They didn't see the pain she concealed beneath discipline. One officer smirked, classic stolen valor prep. Probably heading to the VA for a handout. They weren't wrong about her next stop, but not for the reason they thought. She was fighting to get her service records unsealed. Again. For the 4th time. The system kept saying, operation doesn't exist. So how could her wounds? At the checkout, an older cashier paused. His eyes lingered on her jacket, not the color, but what wasn't there anymore. Just a faded outline, a patch long since rubbed away. But he knew. He said nothing. She paid in cash. Quiet. Precise. Have a good day, ma'am, he said. You too, Miranda whispered, the first words she'd spoken all day. At customer service, her paperwork was rejected. Again. This isn't valid ID. It's all I'm authorized to carry. I'm sorry, you'll have to take it up with VA. That's why I'm here. And behind her, like a pack of hyenas, those same lieutenants watched, amused. She'll do anything for a 10% discount. The crowd chuckled. Even a clerk smirked. Miranda stood still. A soldier who had once stood her ground while rockets fell. Then, the doors parted. A tall figure in 4-star uniform walked in, General Marcus Harris. 2 aides followed in his wake. Miranda stepped aside, respectfully, until he saw her. His eyes fixed on that nearly invisible patch above her heart. Time stopped. He froze, snapped to attention, and saluted. The commissary fell into stunned silence. Miranda, after a beat, returned the salute, sharp, proud. Her grocery bags trembled in her hand. Captain Reeves, the general said, voice echoing. Spectre Group. Tehran. 2003. Yes, sir, she replied. Gasps rippled. Jaws dropped. The lieutenants turned pale. You got us out, the general said, emotion raw. You saved 32 lives, including mine. Miranda nodded, grief and pride battling behind her eyes. 3 of us made it home, sir. I'm the last. They sat at a small cafe table as the entire room kept silent watch. What brings you back, Captain? Medical appeal, she said. I can't get treatment for wounds I'm not allowed to prove. The general made a call on the spot. Sierra, 9, Delta for -0, Tango. Declassify Spectre Group. Personnel records. Now, her eyes welled. She didn't let them fall. 3 months later, Miranda walked through those same commissary doors. Same jacket, but clean, pressed. The patch? Restored. A new medal glinting beneath it, the presidential unit citation. And this time, heads nodded. People stepped aside. The whispers were respectful now. One of the lieutenants, now humbled, approached her. Ma'am, your story is part of our training now. A case study. A lesson. A hard one, she said. But the ones we remember, he replied. Veterans saluted her with quiet nods. Clerks greeted her by name. A young intelligence officer, barely out of school, asked for advice. And Miranda? She finally walked not in silence, but in legacy. The ghost had become history, and her story was no longer hidden.